Breaking news out of Texas, Bigfoot is real.
For decades, researchers have been trying to communicate with Bigfoot. But have you ever wondered who he is trying to communicate with?
Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a legendary creature that has fascinated and perplexed people for decades. This large, hairy, human-like creature is said to roam the dense forests of North America, with a particularly strong association with the Pacific Northwest. From its origins in both American and Canadian folklore, Bigfoot has evolved into a cultural icon, deeply embedded in popular culture and spawning a subculture all its own. But in light of recent evidence, Bigfoot might no longer be just a myth. An expedition of Bigfoot researchers has claimed that they have found the elusive creature, the untamed enigma, Bigfoot's elusive presence. Reports of Bigfoot sightings, photographs, video and audio recordings, hair samples, and casts of enormous footprints have long been offered as proof of Bigfoot's existence. Despite this, the scientific community remains skeptical. In any case, Bigfoot sightings are notably concentrated in the lush forests of Washington state and California, which together account for a significant proportion of reported encounters, 656 and 445 sightings, respectively. These states, with their dense woodlands and remote wilderness areas, are often cited in claims of Bigfoot sightings, fueling ongoing interest and investigation into the creature's existence. Across the United States, there have been over 10,000 reported encounters. The quest to uncover the truth behind Bigfoot remains a compelling journey, marked by a mix of fascination, skepticism, and mystery. Explorers and researchers continue to delve into the evidence, seeking to substantiate or debunk the claims of those who have reported sightings. The legends surrounding Bigfoot are rich and varied, blending folklore with modern cryptozoology. These tales often describe a large, ape-like creature that roams the forests, leaving behind enigmatic footprints and mysterious sounds. So, is there something unknown lurking out there in the wild? Well, the legend of Bigfoot is deeply rooted in a blend of historical and cultural sources. Bigfoot resonates with various folkloric elements, drawing from the European wild man archetype, indigenous myths, and local legends. Similar tales of large, hair-covered humanoids appear across the globe, such as the skunk ape of the southeastern United States, the almas of Central Asia, the Yeren of China, the Yeti of the Himalayas, and the Australian yowie. These parallels suggest that Bigfoot may be a modern echo of ancient myths and cultural stories. Additionally, the rise in environmental awareness and the general societal curiosity about the unknown have further contributed to the ongoing fascination with Bigfoot. Bigfoot is frequently depicted as a formidable, bipedal creature with a robust, muscular build covered in a thick coat of black, dark brown, or dark reddish hair. Eyewitness accounts often estimate its height at around 6 to 9 feet, though some descriptions inflate its stature to an imposing 10 to 15 feet. The creature's appearance is described with varying degrees of human and ape-like features, particularly noting its face. For instance, in 1971, residents of the Dalles, Oregon, reported seeing an overgrown ape, and one witness, who had the creature in his rifle scope, was so struck by its human-like demeanor that he refrained from shooting. Typical descriptions of Bigfoot include broad shoulders, a lack of visible neck, and notably long arms. Skeptics often suggest these characteristics could be misidentified bears standing upright. In some nighttime sightings, observers have reported that Bigfoot's eyes appeared to glow yellow or red. This phenomenon, known as eye shine, is not observed in humans or great apes, leading some to propose that the glowing eyes might actually belong to other animals, such as owls, raccoons, or opossums, reflected in the underbrush. Michael Rugg, the founder of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, has claimed that he detected a distinct odor associated with Bigfoot, describing it as a blend of skunk musk mixed with the stench of decaying animals and garbage. Furthermore, the creature is famously associated with enormous footprints, which can measure up to 24 inches in length and 8 inches in width. Some of these footprint casts have displayed claw marks, which researchers suggest could be attributed to bears, whose tracks feature claws and 5 toes. In any case, the allure of nature's hidden wonders has captivated human imagination for centuries, inspiring countless legends and myths. This fascination with the natural world and its mysteries is deeply embedded in our collective consciousness, drawing us to explore the unknown and seek out creatures that blur the line between reality and fantasy. Historically, legendary creatures have held a special place in folklore, embodying humanity's fears, hopes, and desires. From the dragons of European lore to the mythical beasts of ancient mythologies, these figures have intrigued and inspired. In American and Canadian culture, Bigfoot stands out as a particularly prominent myth. The elusive being roams the forests of the Pacific Northwest and has become a symbol of the region's untamed wilderness. Despite the enduring fascination with Bigfoot, skepticism about its existence remains widespread. The myth, while rich in cultural significance and intriguing anecdotal evidence, has faced substantial scrutiny from the scientific community. Many experts argue that the evidence for Bigfoot's existence is inconclusive, attributing sightings and encounters to misidentifications, hoaxes, and the power of suggestion. But this may soon change. Tony Harris and Stacy Brown Jr. team up to analyze Bigfoot evidence. Tony Harris, the host of The Proof Is Out There, brings his investigative prowess to the world of supernatural phenomena, with a particular focus on cryptids like Bigfoot. He has taken on the challenge of distinguishing reality from fabrication in some of the most captivating recent Bigfoot evidence. His scrutiny includes examining footprint casts allegedly found near Mount St. Helens, which some claim could be evidence of a massive, undiscovered primate residing in North America. These casts have sparked debate among enthusiasts and skeptics alike, raising questions about their authenticity and what they might reveal. Harris has also explored the potential breakthrough footage captured by a father and son team using a thermal imaging camera. This footage is touted as the most compelling visual evidence of Bigfoot since the iconic Patterson-Gimlin film, which has long been a cornerstone in the mythology of the creature. To assess these claims, Harris collaborated with a team of top researchers, investigators, academics, and scientists. Together, they rigorously evaluated the latest sounds, photos, and videos purportedly linked to Bigfoot. Harris also engaged with Stacy Brown Jr., a dedicated Bigfoot researcher and filmmaker. Brown's journey into the world of cryptozoology began with a personal fascination with the legend of Bigfoot, leading him to conduct numerous investigations and compile various types of evidence to support his claims. He initially gained recognition for his fieldwork in the dense forests and swamps of Florida, specifically within the Apalachicola National Forest. This area is known for its rich biodiversity and has been a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings and reports. Brown's approach combines traditional investigative methods with modern technology, aiming to capture evidence that could substantiate the existence of Bigfoot. One of Brown's most prominent contributions to Bigfoot research is his work from a 2012 expedition in the Apalachicola National Forest. During this trip, Brown and his team employed night vision cameras, audio recording devices, and motion-triggered cameras to capture evidence of the elusive beast. The highlight of this expedition was a thermal signature footage of the elusive creature. Often referred to as the Florida Bigfoot video, it shows a large, warm-bodied figure moving through the forest undergrowth. The figure appears to be about the size and shape of a large human, but with features that Brown argues are not consistent with known animals. Brown and his supporters argue that the thermal image video is compelling evidence for Bigfoot's existence because it shows a creature with a heat signature that could not easily be explained as any known animal in the region. The video is often cited as a significant piece of evidence in Brown's efforts to prove the existence of Bigfoot. Stacy Brown Jr. presented this thermal footage in various media appearances, including on Tony Harris's show, where he discussed its significance and how it fits into his broader research on Bigfoot. The video has been a focal point in his advocacy for the creature's existence, showcasing his use of modern technology in the quest for evidence. In addition to video evidence, Brown has also focused on capturing audio recordings of what he believes are Bigfoot vocalizations. These recordings include strange, unidentifiable sounds that are distinct from known wildlife calls. Brown has argued that these sounds are indicative of an unknown creature, possibly Bigfoot. The audio evidence is intended to supplement the visual and physical evidence collected during his investigations. Brown's efforts have been featured on various media platforms, including Tony Harris's show. On these programs, Brown has presented his evidence and shared his findings with a broader audience. His appearances often involve detailed discussions of his research methods, the challenges of fieldwork, and his personal belief in Bigfoot's existence. But there's more to it. Doug Teague's encounter with the Bigfoot in the Carolina woods. Doug Teague, a dedicated Bigfoot researcher from Hickory, North Carolina, made headlines back in 2019 for his encounters with the elusive creature. Teague, an active member of the Catawba Valley Bigfoot Research Group, was walking through the woods with his dog, Crazy Daisy, to retrieve trail cameras when he heard a series of distinct wood-knocking sounds. Initially dismissing these noises as the work of a woodpecker, he soon realized that the sounds were accompanied by rock-throwing incidents. Excited by the unusual activity, Teague began recording the experience with his phone and managed to capture some intriguing photos and videos of what he believed to be Bigfoot. He noted that Crazy Daisy, known for her approach towards bears, was visibly agitated but stayed close to him, suggesting that whatever was making the noise was not a bear. Teague's encounter occurred in the late afternoon, a time he typically would not expect to be ideal for Bigfoot research, as such investigations are usually more fruitful during early mornings or dusk in cooler weather. He has been fascinated by Bigfoot for nearly a decade, driven by a long-standing interest in gorillas, which he compares to the giant, ape-like creature. Teague often visits the Marion area, which is recognized as a Bigfoot hotspot and participates in local events like the WNC Bigfoot Festival. In preparation for his expeditions, Teague carries standard hiking gear alongside specialized equipment for Bigfoot research. This includes casting materials for footprints, a scope for distant viewing, and an assortment of foods he believes might attract Bigfoot, such as granola bars and moon pies. His latest Bigfoot footprint cast, collected in July, reflects his ongoing commitment to documenting and understanding the phenomenon. In this particular incident, he was able to capture 3 Bigfoots on video in the foothills of McDowell County. The footage, recorded while Teague was retrieving game cameras, features what he asserts are 3 distinct Bigfoot figures observed from a hill. Teague managed to record approximately 10 minutes of video, a portion of which he shared with NBC Charlotte. He described the experience as exhilarating and nerve-wracking, likening his reaction to that of a giddy school kid with his heart racing. The implications of Teague's evidence are significant for the Bigfoot community. His video has sparked debates among researchers and enthusiasts about its authenticity. Some argue that the footage aligns with other Bigfoot sightings, noting the creature's size and movement patterns as consistent with descriptions of the elusive being. Others, however, caution that the footage's lack of clear detail makes it difficult to rule out other possible explanations, such as a bear or an elaborate hoax. The case has drawn the interest of various experts in the field, who have analyzed the footage for any signs of tampering or inconsistencies. While some believe it represents a promising lead in the search for Bigfoot, others remain skeptical. Kathy Strain, a well-respected researcher in the field, is one of the prominent voices advocating for the authenticity of Teague's evidence. Strain, known for her detailed work on Bigfoot's footprint casts and historical accounts, has expressed a firm belief in the credibility of Teague's footage. She argues that the shadowy figure's movement and the video's context align with other credible Bigfoot sightings she has studied. Strain emphasizes that the footage exhibits characteristics that are consistent with known patterns of Bigfoot behavior, such as the creature's cautious, deliberate movement through the forest. However, Lucy Eckersley, a scientist with a background in biological studies, has been more critical of the evidence. Eckersley calls for more rigorous scientific validation before drawing definitive conclusions about the video's authenticity. She argues that while the footage is intriguing, it lacks the clarity and detail necessary for a conclusive analysis. Eckersley insists that the scientific community requires more tangible evidence, such as clear biological samples or irrefutable physical evidence, to substantiate claims of Bigfoot's existence. But wait, there's more. The historical fascination with Bigfoot. These recent pieces of evidence are only a small chapter in a long saga. Most cultures feature human-like giants in their folklore. This fascination with larger-than-life creatures reflects a deep-seated human desire to explain and personify the mysteries of nature. Many cultures have developed names for these creatures that resonate with the concept of wild man or hairy man, which often describe their notable traits or behaviors. In European folklore, the concept of wild, hair-covered beings is prevalent. Descriptions of these creatures often include a naked figure covered in hair, with only certain body parts exposed. These wild men of the woods were sometimes portrayed as hermits living in isolation, while other times they were depicted as monstrous beings that posed threats to humans. As European settlers migrated to North America, these tales evolved and persisted, leading to sightings of similar wild people in regions like New York and Pennsylvania. The modern depiction of Sasquatch is influenced by both European and indigenous American traditions. While the Sasquatch in popular culture is predominantly shaped by European-derived myths, it also has roots in Amerindian representations of hairy hominoids. The transition from the smaller, less defined figures in indigenous lore to the giant, fearsome Sasquatch of contemporary imagination reflects a blending of mythological elements across cultures. Indigenous cultures across North America have long featured tales of mysterious, hair-covered beings residing in the wilderness. Anthropologist David Daegling notes that these legends predate modern reports of Bigfoot, with many regional variations. In the Pacific Northwest, such legends are particularly prevalent. Chief Michel of the Nlaka'pamux, for example, shared stories with ethnographer Charles Hill Toot in 1898 about forest-dwelling creatures, illustrating how deeply embedded these myths are in local culture. The Tool River Indian Reservation in California features petroglyphs that some interpret as depictions of Bigfoot, specifically a group referred to as the Family. Kathy Moskowitz-Strain, author of Giants, Cannibals, Monsters, Bigfoot in Native Culture, argues that these glyphs, estimated to be around 1,000 years old, represent a creature known as Hairy Man. According to local lore, the hairy man was a large, shaggy being that protected people from dangerous animals, a figure of both fear and reverence. Spanish explorers and Mexican settlers in the 16th century reported sightings of large, shadowy creatures known as Los Vigilantes Oscuros, or Dark Watchers, who were said to stalk their camps. Similarly, Jesuit priests in Mississippi in the 18th century recorded stories of hair-covered forest creatures that were known for screams and livestock theft, further indicating the widespread nature of such myths. In 1929, Indian agent J.W. Burns, who worked with the Zales Nation in British Columbia, published a collection of local tales that included encounters with hairy giants. Burns coined the term Sasquatch, believed to be derived from the Halkomelem word Saskets, meaning hairy man. His stories described Sasquatch as a tribe of wild people living in mountainous areas, adding to the growing body of lore surrounding these elusive beings. The Cherokee have their own version of these legends, with the Sul Kalu, described as slant-eyed giants in the Appalachian Mountains. Similarly, the Lummi people speak of the Tsemekwes, with variations in their diet and behavior depending on family accounts. More sinister versions include the Stiaha or Quiquiai, nocturnal beings that children were warned about to prevent their abduction. Other indigenous groups, such as the Iroquois, tell of the Genosqua, a giant with rock-hard skin, while Paul Kane reported stories of cannibalistic wild men living on Mount St. Helens. The President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt, also recounted a tale of a foul-smelling bipedal creature in his book, The Wilderness Hunter. In Alaska, the Alutiiq speak of the Nantinak, a Bigfoot-like creature linked to historical population decreases in Portlock. Conversely, Reverend Elkanah Walker recorded less menacing giants near Spokane, Washington, who were said to steal salmon from fishermen's nets. The widespread presence of giant, hairy beings in folklore around the world reflects a universal intrigue with the unknown, merging ancient beliefs with contemporary interpretations and continuing to captivate imaginations across cultures. However, the Ape Canyon incident, which unfolded on July 16, 1924, stands as a notable chapter in the annals of Bigfoot lore. This is where mythology found its way into actual history. According to an article published in The Oregonian, a group of gold prospectors reported a dramatic encounter with a band of ape men in a remote gorge near Mount St. Helens. The prospectors, who were residing in a secluded cabin, claimed that they came across these gorilla men while working in the area. One of the men, Fred Beck, asserted that he shot one of the creatures in self-defense. That night, the situation escalated as the prospectors experienced a violent assault. The creatures allegedly threw large rocks at their cabin, causing significant damage to the roof and rendering Beck unconscious. In the aftermath, the men abandoned the site, fleeing in the early hours. The U.S. Forest Service conducted an investigation but found no concrete evidence to support the claims. Despite this, the story of the Ape Canyon encounter has cemented itself within Bigfoot folklore, and the area is now known by the name Ape Canyon. The Bigfoot name first came to light in 1958 when Jerry Crew, a bulldozer operator working in Humboldt County, California, discovered a series of large, human-like footprints in the mud at Six Rivers National Forest. Crew, initially believing these tracks to be a prank, later observed more footprints and reported them to the local media. Reporter Andrew Genzoli of the Humboldt Times covered the story, introducing the term Bigfoot to describe the mysterious creature responsible for the tracks. The name quickly gained traction, and the term Bigfoot became synonymous with the large, unknown creature leaving footprints in Northern California. However, in 2002, a revelation from Ray Wallace's family brought to light a collection of large, carved wooden feet stored in his basement. Wallace made these wooden feet as part of a hoax to create footprints, which he later used to scare away potential thieves from his construction site. Wallace was inspired by Rant Mullins, a figure from the 1930s who, along with his team, used wooden feet to create fake Bigfoot tracks in Toledo, Washington. Mullins and his crew, known as the St. Helens Apes, had also claimed responsibility for hoaxing the Ape Canyon incident. Wallace's use of these wooden feet was an attempt to replicate Mullins' earlier hoaxes. The disclosure of Wallace's activities in 2002 provided a concrete link between historical Bigfoot sightings and deliberate hoaxes, showing how the Bigfoot phenomenon has been influenced by both genuine reports and intentional fabrications. However, the fascination with the creature did not die out. Regional names for Bigfoot vary across North America. In Canada, Sasquatch is commonly used alongside Bigfoot. In the United States, numerous names and descriptions reflect local variations, including the skunk ape in Florida, the grassman in Ohio, the fook monster in Arkansas, and the wood booger in Virginia, among others. Each name represents a different regional interpretation of the creature. Some prefer terms like wood ape to avoid the mythical connotations associated with Bigfoot, while other names such as bushman, treeman, and wildman reflect different aspects of the creature's perceived nature. Throughout the decades, many have claimed to see such creatures. Claims of Bigfoot sightings throughout history. Most notably, on October 20, 1967, Roger Patterson, a fervent Bigfoot enthusiast, and his companion Robert Bob Gimlin set out to film a Bigfoot docudrama in the remote Bluff Creek area of Northern California. They wanted to capture footage of the elusive creature that had long been a subject of folklore and speculation. As they were filming, they reported an extraordinary encounter with a creature that they identified as Bigfoot. Patterson managed to capture this encounter on film, producing what has come to be known as the Patterson-Gimlin film. The footage has achieved iconic status in both popular culture and Bigfoot lore. It shows a large, hairy figure walking across a riverbank, its gait and physique sparking significant debate. The film has been subject to extensive analysis and scrutiny over the decades. Some researchers and enthusiasts argue that the creature in the film is a genuine unknown species, while others believe it to be a sophisticated hoax. The the film's authenticity remains a topic of contention, with critics often suggesting that it was a carefully orchestrated fabrication. Despite numerous studies and expert opinions, the Patterson-Gimlin film continues to be one of the most compelling pieces of evidence in the Bigfoot mystery. Other than this, some claims attribute a range of mysterious events to Bigfoot, including the disappearances of individuals in wilderness areas, such as the case of Dennis Martin in 1969, vehicle accidents, vandalism, and even fatalities. Sightings of Bigfoot are numerous, with over 10,000 reported cases in the continental United States. A significant portion of these reports comes from the Pacific Northwest, with Washington, Oregon, and Northern California being prominent areas for sightings. Despite the large number of reports, many are considered mistaken or hoaxed by researchers and skeptics alike. The behavior attributed to Bigfoot includes rock throwing as a territorial display, wood knocking for communication, and creating structures with broken foliage. Some reports also describe sightings of structures like teepee-like formations made from trees and foliage, and instances where deer skeletons are found suspended high in trees. There are also reports suggesting that Bigfoot might be omnivorous, consuming a variety of plants and animals, including berries, nuts, salmon, and deer. In 2001, a nature documentary captured footage of a dark bipedal figure near a herd of caribou, sparking debate about its identity, with some Bigfoot researchers claiming it to be the creature itself. Additionally, some researchers have reported that Bigfoot might interact with human gifts, like food and jewelry, leaving behind other items in their place. While many sightings occur at night, leading some to speculate that Bigfoot may be nocturnal, this idea is debated since all known apes, including humans, are diurnal, with only lesser primates being nocturnal. Most reports describe Bigfoot as a solitary creature, though there are occasional accounts of groups being seen together. Moreover, vocalizations attributed to Bigfoot have generated significant interest and debate. Reports claim that these vocalizations include howls, screams, moans, grunts, whistles, and even what some believe to be a form of language. Notably, retired U.S. Navy cryptologic linguist Scott Nelson analyzed recordings from the early 1970s, known as the Sierra Sounds, and concluded that they represent a non-human language that could not have been faked. Similarly, Les Stroud, while filming Survivorman, reported hearing a strange vocalization he thought sounded primate-like. Some Bigfoot researchers, like paranormal author Nick Redfern, suggest that Bigfoot might produce infrasound, which could explain reports of disorientation and anxiety experienced by witnesses. Evidence for Bigfoot's existence often includes body prints and footprints. The Skookum cast, a body print taken in 2000 from the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest, was believed by some to be made by a Bigfoot. Footprints are frequently cited by enthusiasts, with anthropologist Jeffrey Meldrum holding over 300 casts that he believes are from a large, non-human primate. However, some experts argue that these casts can be replicated or are misidentified. In 2007, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization claimed to have photos of a juvenile Bigfoot, but the Pennsylvania Game Commission identified the subject as a bear with mange. In 2015, Centralia College professor Michael Townsend reported finding prey bones with human-like bite marks and 16-inch footprints, although these findings are not widely accepted. In 2012, veterinarian Melba Ketchum's laboratory claimed to have identified Bigfoot DNA as evidence of a human-primate hybrid. The study was published in the De Novo Journal of Science. On top of this, Bigfoot has made a significant impact on popular culture, with its influence extending to various facets of life and entertainment. In 2018, Smithsonian Magazine highlighted the unprecedented interest in Bigfoot, noting that curiosity about its existence is at an all-time high. A 2020 poll revealed that about 10% of American adults believe Bigfoot is a real, living creature, while a 2023 study showed that terms like Bigfoot and Sasquatch are searched over 200,000 times annually in the U.S. and more than 660,000 times worldwide. The creature has inspired a diverse range of names and symbols, from a medical company and music festival to an amusement park ride and a Marvel Comics superhero. In the world of sports, Bigfoot has been used as a mascot for two National Basketball Association teams based in the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle Supersonics and the Portland Trail Blazers. Additionally, legend the Bigfoot was chosen as the mascot for the 2022 World Athletics Championships held in Eugene, Oregon. Bigfoot's portrayal in films ranges from being the antagonist in low-budget monster movies to an intelligent and friendly character, as seen in 1987's Harry and the Hendersons. The creature also features in television series like Finding Bigfoot, Mountain Monsters, and Expedition Bigfoot. Interestingly, legal protections for Bigfoot are notable in Washington state, where laws have been enacted to criminalize harming or killing the creature, with penalties that once included fines and imprisonment. The laws have evolved to reflect a protective stance, with some counties even declaring themselves Sasquatch refugees. This sentiment extends to other regions, with recent declarations in Oklahoma and Pennsylvania aimed at preserving Bigfoot and leveraging it for tourism. The environmental aspect of Bigfoot has also been highlighted. The creature's myth has been used to promote nature conservation. But what do the mainstream academics believe? Academic views on the legend of the Bigfoot. Most scientists attribute reports of Bigfoot to hoaxes, confusion, or delusion, rather than evidence of a genuine creature. John Crane, a zoologist from Washington state, stated unequivocally in 1996 that no credible evidence supports the existence of Bigfoot. Similarly, a review article asserts that cryptozoology cannot be considered a science if it seriously entertains the idea of Bigfoot. The survival of such a large, ape-like creature in the temperate latitudes of the northern hemisphere, where it is alleged to inhabit, seems implausible due to issues related to climate and food supply. All known non-human apes are found in the tropical regions of Africa and Asia, and no Bigfoot remains have been discovered in the fossil record. Philip Stevens, a cultural anthropologist, has noted that sustaining a breeding population of Bigfoot would require a substantial number of individuals dispersed over a wide area with ample food and shelter. Notable scientists such as primatologist Jane Goodall have expressed a personal interest in Bigfoot, though they acknowledge the absence of concrete evidence. Goodall, in particular, has voiced a romantic wish for the creature's existence, but recognizes the significant scientific challenges in proving it. Paleontologist Darren Naish also emphasizes that if Bigfoot existed, there would be consistent vocalizations, identifiable tracks, and detectable DNA. Similarly, the FBI's 1976 analysis of alleged Bigfoot hairs, declassified in 2019, concluded that the hairs belong to deer. While Bigfoot's existence remains unproven, it's worth considering the story of coelacanth, a fish once believed to have been extinct for millions of years until it was rediscovered in 1938. This example reminds us that our understanding of the natural world is not infallible, and there may still be undiscovered or elusive species out there, potentially even endangered ones like Bigfoot. The persistence of Bigfoot-like legends across various cultures suggests a deep-rooted belief in such creatures, hinting that the mystery may hold more than just myth. Whether real or imagined, the possibility that Bigfoot could exist as a rare, reclusive species keeps the intrigue alive, inviting further exploration and open-mindedness in the face of the unknown. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? If you did, please consider liking, dropping a comment, and hitting the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our new uploads. Also, don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.